alive today. Fun fact, I have got extra makeup here because I go really red when I'm nervous, and that's okay. I am so excited. All week long, I have been showing you how to make some of your absolute fave takeout eats at home. And today, it's time for my final dish of the week. This is my take on takeout. I've been making like classic, delicious takeout dishes, and I've been like searching for inspiration all over the place. In particular, this very office, upstairs where we actually work to make the show. And this recipe seems like it was inspired by my mom, Mary Berg, but it's actually inspired by someone I work with upstairs. And you're gonna meet her a little later on, but it is going to be Greek chicken meatballs with orzo. Absolutely delicious. It's gonna have all those flavors of kind of sort of like Slovaki. We've got a little bit of Greek salad action. There's obviously gonna be some feta cheese, because why not? I'm super excited about it, and it takes no time flat. This is lickety-split cooking, so way faster than going to your Greek place or ordering it in. So I love saving time and I love saving cash, so this is a perfect recipe for anyone who's like that. Fantastic. All right, so we're gonna get started on the orzo, because I wanna do some sort of kind of starch to go in these bowls. So I've got about 1.5 cups of orzo here. And orzo is like the rice of the pasta area. So when you're looking for it, you find it in the pasta aisle, but it kind of looks, well, kind of like rice. Whoops, I'm spilling it everywhere, that's okay. It's really tasty. It's honestly one of my husband Aaron's favorite pasta shapes. Kind of chaos choice, but it's really good. So I've got a pot of boiling water here, and I'm gonna add in a good amount of salt, because like when you're cooking any sort of pasta, most of this water is going down the drain. So you wanna season it well so those noodles actually absorb some of that and season as they cook. So I'm gonna add into that water 1.5 cups to 2 cups of that orzo. Give that a little bit of a stir. And I just want that to cook according to the package directions. It can take anywhere from like 8 to 10 minutes. Sometimes if you buy fancy orzo though, it takes like 12. So buy the cheap stuff, it's quicker. Always good. All right, while that's doing its thing, I'm gonna get to work on those meatballs. So I've got a big bowl here, and I'm gonna start off with something that I love using anytime I make meatballs, and that's something that's called a panade. And a panade is essentially breadcrumbs and some sort of liquid mixed into them just to hydrate those breadcrumbs. What that does is it holds on to moisture, makes them super juicy and wonderful, and helps them hold together really nicely. So I need about 1/4 cup of plain breadcrumbs. We're not using panko here, we're not looking for crunch, we're just looking for something that's gonna hold moisture. So about 1/4 cup of those go on into the bottom of my bowl. Now, if you don't have these breadcrumbs, the ones that you get in the bakery section in that weird tub, they're usually like 99 cents, you could definitely just use a piece of bread torn up into little pieces. That would be great. But as opposed to using milk or wine or something like that, I'm actually just gonna use an egg as my liquid. Eggs are mainly water, so it works really well, and that's gonna just come together beautifully. So add that on into my bowl. I was telling my friends recently, I made meatballs on, was it Wednesday? Yeah. I'm in my meatball era. I'm making meatballs all the time. They're so good. They're such a great way to get so much flavor into tiny little delicious bites. So I've mixed that together. You want that breadcrumb mixture to kind of absorb that egg, but I'm gonna start flavoring this up now. The first thing I need is about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. That's gonna flavor all of these meatballs, so add that on in. Then a little bit of pepper, just about a pinch. Personally, I go like on and off with pepper. I know that's wild. It's not even the heat, it's just like sometimes I'm like, no, not feeling it. I'm like adventuring into the pepper world again. So add that on in. Then I'm gonna add in some spices. The first thing I need is about 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. Cumin is a really great spice. It's super tasty, almost a little lemony and smoky. It's really great in Mediterranean cooking. So about 1/2 teaspoon of that. As you can tell, we're cooking, so everything is eyeballed. Feel free to eyeball. Then I'm also adding in 1/2 teaspoon of dry oregano. Oregano's beautiful. It has a really nice kind of lemony flavor to it. And dried, it's not as perfumey as fresh. So about 1/2 teaspoon of that goes right on in. And then for a little bit of heat, I'm going in with about 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes. Just a little bit. You can go bigger if you want to, but I'm making this for someone who I actually don't know her heat tolerance, so we're gonna figure it out. All right, now give that a little bit of a mix together, just with your fork. And now I'm gonna add in my meat. So we are doing ground chicken meatballs, and the thing I love so much about ground chicken, it is so inexpensive. You can get a pound, which is 454 grams, for like under $10. In fact, the other day I got it for $6. Yeah, so you can feed a family of 4 with leftovers for like $6, which is a total dream. If you can't find chicken, turkey works perfectly as well. Now I'm gonna use my forks. I'm just gonna toss these together. But I've got all those dried spices and herbs in here, so I wanna add something that's nice and fresh. The first thing I need is about 2 tablespoons each of some dill and some mint. Dill is a classic herb in so much Greek cooking, and mint is just bright and fresh and wonderful. If you wanted to, you could do parsley, you could do chives, you could do oregano, if you like that perfumey oregano. Any sort of soft herb would be absolutely beautiful. So just give that a little bit of a chop, and then add those right on into that bowl. Now, for even more brightness, I'm also gonna toss in the zest of half of a lemon. This sounds kind of weird because I'm putting it into chicken, but it works so, so well. So just rasp that right on over. And I'm not using the juice. The juice would actually kind of cure and cook this meat, and we don't wanna do that. So just that zest gives you that flavor without that acidity. And then finally, I'm gonna add in a little bit of fresh garlic. If you wanted to, because we're doing meatballs, you could easily do this with powdered garlic. That would work wonderfully. But I like that fresh little kick. 1 to 2 cloves is absolutely perfect. And as you can see, I'm just mincing it right on in. I hate chopping garlic. It's my least favorite task in the kitchen, so you will see me do the amount of footage of me rasping garlic on television. Truly wild. All right, add that on in. And then give that a good mix up. Basically, when I'm mixing everything together, you kind of want to toss it like the world's weirdest salad. Because it's ground chicken, it's not as sturdy as beef. So it tends to kind of break down quicker, so keep it nice and light, just tossing it up, just until all of those ingredients are nicely incorporated. So that is looking beautiful. Now I'm gonna scoop these meatballs. If you want to, you can use your hands, you can use a couple of spoons, but I like to use a disher. My friend Simon, who makes a good meatball, you use this, you don't have to wash your hands. You can, well, I mean, you have to wash your hands. Still wash your hands, obviously, but you can just scoop them, you don't have to roll them. Now I will say, it is not a meatball, it is a meat dome. But that's okay, because that is meatball adjacent in my books. So all you wanna do is scoop those straight onto a piece of parchment-lined sheet pan. If you wanted to as well, if you didn't wanna toss that out, you could use foil greased with a little bit of oil. That would be beautiful. And I'm using about a 2 tablespoon disher. That's about the size that's perfect. You get a good amount for everybody. They're big enough so they're not kind of measly, but they're gonna be totally delicious. So get those all scooped. You can smell those herbs. Oh, my gosh, they sound so good. I'm very excited. Now for a little extra fat, because chicken is really, really lean, I'm gonna drizzle the top with just a little bit of olive oil. Since I've got that parchment, this is not for sticking purposes. This is just to get a little bit of golden brown action happening. You can see those herbs. These are gonna be out of control. You just need to pop them into a 400-degree oven for about 15 to 18 minutes, just until they're cooked all the way through. Then for 2 minutes, pop the broiler on. They're gonna get golden brown. They're gonna get so delicious, and it's gonna smell amazing in your house. So we've got this orzo all cooked up, and I've just drained it, and I'm gonna pop it into a bowl. Today we are making my Greek chicken meatballs with orzo. And speaking of those meatballs, I gotta get them out of the oven because they're smelling delicious. Am I right? Yeah, very exciting. Oh my gosh, look at these cuties. I love a meatball. It's like the tiniest little bite of deliciousness. I feel like I have my husband to thank for this. He's a real meatball man. So we have got those beautiful chicken meatballs that have all the flavors of kind of chicken Slovakia in there. There's garlic, there's oregano, there's beautiful mint and dill and lemon. Those are gonna be out of control, but now I'm gonna talk to you about this orzo. So orzo as is, cooked up, delicious. It's like the rice of pasta. It's very, very good. And it's really nice even if you eat it cold. But I'm gonna dress it up a little bit. So remember that lemon I used earlier and I put half of the zest in those meatballs? I'm gonna use the rest of that zest right into this orzo with it still warm, because that's gonna help it absorb all of that beautiful flavor. So add in the zest of half of a lemon. Honestly, my whole fridge is full of half-zested lemons. I find them and I'm like, no. Clearly she only used half of it, and that's fine. All right, now I'm gonna add in the juice of that half of a lemon as well. That's gonna bring some nice acidity and almost give this kind of a vinaigrette situation. I am feeding someone I like very much, so I'm being very careful not to get pips in there. Usually at home, Seed City. I just am Adam in. If you find a seed, you win a prize, and the prize is you didn't have to cook. So there you go. All right, that's looking absolutely beautiful. Now I'm gonna add in a little oil as well. And since I'm not cooking this is where if you have that fancy olive oil you're saving for if like someone very, very exciting comes over, this is when you use it. Since you're not heating it, you're gonna get that nice, beautiful kind of peppery flavor. If you've got a Greek olive oil, even better, because then you're heading to the island without any jet lag, which is good. All right, season that up with a little bit of salt, little bit of pepper as well. Again, if you're not feeling the pepper, feel free to leave it out, but you're good to go. And then just because you're here and we're doing it live today, this is not in the recipe, I'm gonna chuck some herbs in there because why not? Herbs are the bonus. They are the things that you can just add in however you want. I'm just gonna kind of like tear them up too and toss those right on in. That's the thing, I hate it when you open up your crisper and you just have that giant puddle of muck. Use those herbs with a gusto because it's gonna be absolutely beautiful. So give that a toss. That is looking totally delish. It's bright, it's green, it's wonderful. So I'm just gonna transfer that on into a bowl. This is enough for about 4 people. You could do even more if you wanted to, but I feel like we're hungry today. So add that beautiful orzo with those herbs, that lemon, the oil right on into the bowl. And this is where you're gonna garnish this up, almost like you're building a Greek salad. So over here, I have got cucumber, I've got tomatoes. We're going North American style Greek salad because we do have romaine lettuce in here. If you go to actual Greeks and get a Greek salad, spoiler alert, there's no lettuce. But I'm gonna add some of that right on in because we're going takeout style. I've got those beautiful cherry tomatoes. I love a cherry tomato because they are always good. You never ever get a sad cherry tomato, but oh boy. You know when you get a beef steak and it looks red and beautiful, you cut into it and it's mealy? Never with a cherry tomato. All right, a little bit of cucumber is beautiful as well. I like to arrange it kind of like a palette, because then you can pick and choose what you're eating. I've also got some red onion here, that's looking beautiful. A little bit of bell pepper, you can use any color you'd like. And then obviously we need some olives. I've got Kalamata olives here, I've already pitted them. They are looking totally beautiful. Add those in, as many as you'd like. My mom one time ordered a Greek salad and it said it came with olives. It came with 1 on top. She complained, they gave her 1 more. Not here, we're giving you all the olives. Then we're gonna add those beautiful meatballs right on top. Now, if you really wanted to go big, I didn't put it in here, but obviously there's gonna be cheese. But if you wanted to go big, you could even put some feta cheese into these meatballs before you bake them. That would be absolutely beautiful. Speaking of that feta cheese, we've got some of that for right on top. Looking absolutely gorgeous. A little bit of those fresh herbs. This is where I play. This is where I'm having fun. All right, toss those right on, a little bit extra dill. And then I am a sauce girl through and through. So a little bit of prepped tzatziki right in the middle for a little bit of creaminess. And that to me looks like a feast for the eyes and a feast for the stomach. Now, I've been teasing you all day with who inspired this recipe. So I would love for you to meet our amazing production coordinator, Adele.
My word.
Okay, so Adele, you love Greek food, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's my favorite.
I was so excited when Adele gave her suggestion. Fun fact, Adele and I'm usually here first, then Adele's here second. So we're always hanging out.
And we almost matched.
We almost matched it. Oh my gosh, Adele, we're nailing it. This is so nice. All right, you want to give it a taste?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I'm excited. Going in.
Going in.
We're going to do a whole meatball. Nicely done.
Of course.
A whole meatball,
with the
girl.
sauce.
Yeah. She's a sauce girl too. Good? So good? Oh my gosh. Adele, you got that meatball, so I'm gonna do your line. Adele was really excited to do this. Opa? Opa! Yeah! Fantastic job. It's such a pleasure working with this lady.
You too.
Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.